everyone, how's it going? And welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Horror. 3 weeks in a row, man. We are on a roll. So this week, I'm actually watching a movie that I've never seen before. Now, I've seen the art, the box art for this movie, and I always kind of got a little chuckle out of it, laughed a little bit at it. But tonight, I'm actually going to pull the trigger and I'm going to watch it. Excuse me. Tonight, we're going to be watching Jack-O. That's right, Jack-O. Jack-O. Have no idea what this movie is about. All I know is on the box art that I've seen, it looks like a scarecrow with a pumpkin for a head, and he's holding a giant scythe. So, yeah. We'll see how this goes. It looks like it's going to be hilariously bad, so I don't have high expectations for it, but it's got to be better than the last 2 weeks. Pumpkinhead 4 and Dashcam were duds. Hopefully Jack-O will be hilariously bad and I'll have fun with it. We'll see. Like I said, I've never seen it before, don't know what the plot is, so we'll find out. As far as cooking goes, man, excuse me, throat's clogging up a little bit. As far as cooking goes, I'm going to make something that I really enjoy. A lot of people have never heard of it. And when I tell people what it is, they're like, that sounds disgusting, but I like it. Tonight, I'm going to be making tuna noodle casserole. That's right, tuna noodle casserole. If you've never seen it before, stay tuned. Like I said, I really enjoy it. But most people don't know what it is. And if they do know what it is, they don't like it. I do. So our movie this week, Jack-O. Our meal, tuna noodle casserole. So with that being said, let's just get right to it, man. Let's go out to the kitchen. Let's start our meal.
Let's go out to the kitchen. Let's go out to the kitchen. Let's go out to the kitchen and have ourselves a snack.
Alright everyone, here's the ingredients for our tuna noodle casserole. Not a whole lot at all. First we have our egg noodles here. We have 2 cans of Star-Kissed tuna and 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup. That's it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is cook the noodles. So I'm going to heat up this pot of water, sprinkle some salt in there, mixed it all up, and we're just going to wait for it to come to a boil. Alright, the water is boiling, so it's time to add in our egg noodles. So let's go over here, let's dump them in and not splash the boiling water all over myself. That would not be good at all. And just make sure all these noodles are underwater, like so. And we'll let these cook for a few minutes, and I'll stir them around occasionally so they don't stick to the bottom of the pot. But yeah, we'll just let those cook for a few minutes and then we'll move on. Alright, so the noodles, I'd say they're done. They've been cooking for a little while. We're going to stir them up some more just to be sure, but I think they're about done. It doesn't take long at all once the water gets to boiling. So yeah, we'll dump these in the strainer and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so I haven't strained them yet. I wanted to cook them just a little bit longer to make sure. Now they're done, for sure. Definitely. Alright, so I dumped the noodles in the strainer and got all the hot water out. Put the pan back on the burner. And now we're going to add our tuna and our cream of mushroom soup. So we're going to add our first can of tuna here. I know it looks nasty, but the end product is good. Trust me. Let's get all this tuna out here. Don't want to waste any. Alright, there's the first can. I was hoping the second can I could just dump it in, but no such luck. So we'll add the second can. As you can see, the burner is still on because we're going to cook this tuna and the soup together. Alright, there's the tuna. Now we got to add our 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup. So let's get this first one out. Now I've never actually had cream of mushroom soup by itself. I don't think I want to. This is the only this is the only way, shape, or form I've ever had cream of mushroom soup is when I'm making tuna noodle casserole. And like I said, this recipe, a lot of people, they look at it and they hear what it is and they think it's disgusting. And to me, it's not. It's really not. It's not at all. It's really good. So I'm going to add the second can of cream of mushroom soup here. Almost got it. There we go. Now we have to do one more thing with one of these cans. Alright, so we've got our tuna and our cream of mushroom soup. We filled one of the cream of mushroom soup cans up with milk, and we'll dump the milk in there too. So now that we've got all this in the pot, we're going to stir it up, mix it all up together, and we're going to let it cook for a few minutes. And once we let it cook for a few minutes, we're going to add the noodles back to it. So we're just going to make this, can't talk. We're going to mix this up for a few minutes, let it cook for a few minutes, and then we'll add our noodles to it. So let's just mix this up here. And this won't take long at all either. It's a really easy meal to make. Doesn't take long at all. Man, I can't talk tonight. Alright, so it's been mixed up. It's been cooking for a little while. So we're going to add our noodles. And we'll just do this. And I just dumped one on the floor, so that is going in the trash. We lost a noodle. Oh well. So now that the noodle's in here, we're just going to mix this all up and let it cook for a few more minutes, and it'll be done. Alright, so everything has been mixed up. It's been cooking for a few minutes. We're ready to put this in a bowl, folks. Alright, there it is, the end product. Tuna noodle casserole. That looks so good. So now we got our food. We got to get something to drink to go with this excellent meal. So let's head to the fridge. Let's get something to drink. That smells good too. Alright, what do we have? What do we have? Oh my sweet Jesus.
Never, never fun, there's always Coca-Cola, yeah. Coca-Cola, always Coca-Cola.
Alright, we've got our food, our drink. So you know what's next. We have to go out in the garage for our mandatory Jurassic Park movie poster shot. Again, I don't remember how this became part of Saturday Night Horror, but it's part of the tradition now, so let's go. Alright, got kind of a mess in here. There we go. The mandatory, completely relevant, absolutely necessary Jurassic Park movie poster shot. Alright, let's head back in the house. Let's get our food and our drink and let's watch our movie. Alright. Let's get back in here, say goodbye to the garage for the week. Or for this week. Alright, here we are. We are in the living room. We've got our food, our drink. All that's left is to turn off this lamp. Alright, every light in the house is off. It is time for Jacko. Alright everyone, the movie is done and holy crap. Oh boy, Jacko is a terrible movie. An absolutely horrible movie, and I mean that in the best of ways. This movie is so bad that it's good. It's hilariously bad. I was laughing at it more than anything. I actually, for as bad as this movie is, I actually had a lot of fun watching it, so I enjoyed it. This movie does have Linnea Quigley, one of the original Scream Queens. Unfortunately, even she can't save this film. And speaking of Linnea Quigley, we're introduced to her character as she's taking a shower. And she starts to really, really enjoy her shower, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. So yeah, I mean, she's a good-looking woman. I wasn't complaining, so hey. But yeah, Jacko. So apparently, somebody way back when was killed, and the head of a family was responsible for putting that in motion. I mean, I couldn't really understand how they were explaining Jacko's origins. Apparently someone was put to death and was instigated and planned by a member of a family. And so the guy that was killed apparently was a warlock and put a curse on this family for all generations. So yeah, the dead warlock comes back as Jacko. He's got a normal human body and a giant pumpkin for a head. Now the thumbnail that you see, that is Jacko. I shit you not, that is Jacko. So yeah, imagine being put to death and coming back as that. His weapon of choice is a giant scythe, or scythe. My throat is killing me, man. So yeah, man. He cursed the family, but I think he got the raw end of the deal, coming back as a pumpkin head thing. This movie was, oh my god. The acting in this movie was absolutely terrible. So terrible that it was funny. I found myself laughing throughout most of the movie. It wasn't quite on the level of Troll 2, but it was really, really close. It tried to get to Troll 2 levels. It was that bad. The best acting in this movie was from Linnea Quigley. So kudos to her. Oh my god, where do I even start? The kills in this movie were so bad that they were hilarious. Jacko cuts off a guy's head with his scythe, or scythe, I don't know how you pronounce that, hopefully I'm getting it right. Jacko cuts off the dude's head, and the dude's head rolls out of the woods, and when the girl picks it up, you can clearly see it's plastic, it's styrofoam, and it's got this look on his face like, it's absolutely hilarious. Later on in the film, some other people stumble across his head, and even though his head had an expression like that, when these other people find it, somehow his head, his severed head, has changed its facial expression, and now it's like... I don't know how that works, man. Another thing, a little boy who's supposed to be one of our main characters, who's destined to kill Jacko if Jacko doesn't kill him first. Jacko gets a hold of him and buries him, tries to bury him alive. He forces the boy to sit into a dugout grave. Jacko uses his scythe to bury the kid. He's not buried completely. You can still see his legs and his shoes. Jacko gets interrupted. 5 minutes later, we see a scene where the boy comes out of the ground. All of a sudden, somehow he's buried alive. He must have buried himself. He must have finished the job while Jacko was distracted. Because this kid was not underground. He was not buried, and then 5 minutes later he is. So he must have buried himself just to rise back up. And he comes up just as clean as can be. Let's see, what else? Another man gets stuck in the gut with Jacko's scythe. We'll just say scythe, screw it. Jacko stabs him in the gut with his scythe and starts, ripping up, gutting him like a fish. And the whole time this guy is getting gutted, he starts making these ridiculous faces. He's like, ooh, it's like he's trying to take a dookie. Instead, he's not getting stabbed. He looks like he's trying to take a massive dump as Jacko was killing him. And I'm just laughing the whole time. His wife comes out of the house, finds his dead body. She screams, goes back in her house, turns off all the lights, but leaves the front door wide open. Then she looks around and realizes, I gotta find a weapon, I gotta find a weapon. She grabs a kitchen knife, turns around, and as she's turning around, she slips on her carpet. Her arm comes down, her knife goes into the plugged-in toaster, and she electrocutes herself. And we're treated to a special effect of this really generic lightning flowing through her body as her skin starts to shrivel up, and I was laughing the whole time. It was so bad, it was hilarious. Oh man. The parents in this movie are just like the parents in Troll 2. No emotion when they deliver their lines. Just bland as can be. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, Jesus. When I say this movie was so bad it was funny, I'm not exaggerating. We also have a scene, I talked about how Jacko was going to bury the little boy alive. When he first starts to shovel dirt onto the little boy looks at him, no, please don't. He's not scared, he sounds bored to death. So yeah, Jacko is a man. We also have a part where Jacko first finds the little boy. He's walking with Linnea Quigley. Linnea Quigley tells him to run. So little boy, he runs. He's got a bag of candy. He was just trick-or-treating, and the whole 10 minutes he's running from Jacko, he's dodging and weaving, he's crawling under stuff. He refuses to let go of that bag of candy. His life is in danger, but doggone it, he's not going to lose his trick-or-treat candy. So yeah, this movie, I'm actually glad I chose this one this week because it was a fun time. The movie is absolutely horrendous. It is terrible beyond belief. But as I said before, it's so bad, it's hilarious. You've got to watch it. If you just want to have a good time for about an hour and a half, you want to laugh, watch Jacko. It's worth it, man. I promise you. If you like Jacko, it's one of those low-budget B horror movies that reminds me of my local video rentals place we used to have here. Now, we had Blockbuster and all that, but that was in town, and I'm 20 minutes from town, so we had our own rental place here called A1 Video. A1 Video will get all the cheap horror movies like Uncle Sam and like low-budget horror movies you never heard of, and that's what Jacko reminds me of. This is something I would find in A1 Video. So it was a good time, man. For as bad as the movie was, it was hilarious, and that made up for it. So I'm not disappointed. I actually had fun watching Jacko, and I think you will too. If you like those kind of cheesy, low-budget horror movies, Jacko is definitely for you. If you're a fan of seeing Linnea Quigley butt naked, this is definitely the movie for you, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. So anyway, Jacko, I would recommend it. It's recommended. So anyway, that is going to do it this week for Saturday Night Horror. It was a good week, man. Aside from my idiot neighbors setting off firecrackers at almost 1 in the morning because they're morons, it was a good night. So that being said, we're going to wrap it up this week. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Hope y'all have a great week. And I will see you next time on the next episode of Saturday Night Horror. Y'all take care.